Hello, I'm Lucas and I'm a high school student who enjoys studying personal finance solutions for kids and teenagers. Today we'll discuss credit cards, how normal credit cards work, what's good about them, and the risks of not using them responsibly. Before we get started, please don't forget to like and subscribe. All my videos are about financial education for kids and young adults, so feel free to check out my previous videos. So let's get started. Before you turn 18, banks will not issue a credit card directly to you. They will issue it to a parent and you become an authorized user on your parent's account. They'll be responsible for repaying any money charged to the credit card and any interest on unpaid balances. Now, once you turn 18, you'll be able to obtain your own credit card. But it's important to understand that none of the money you spend is free. All balances will need to be repaid, and any outstanding amounts will incur penalties and high interest rate charges. Credit card unpaid balances are in fact some of the most expensive debt you can have. It's important that you understand the risk and cost of having a credit card before you start using it. Now, before we explain this, it's important that you understand the difference between a credit card and a debit card. Credit cards are like loans from a bank. They expect to get repaid and will charge you interest on that loan. Debit cards are linked to your own bank account, so you're spending money that you have saved and is sitting in your account directly. Now, credit cards are not all bad. If you're responsible and understand that you need to repay that money quickly, it's a great way to pay when you have an emergency. It's also a good way to build a credit history, meaning in the future if you want to buy a house or a car and the bank looks at how responsible you are, they will look at your credit score, a score that shows how well you behave paying past loans when you used a credit card. You are taking a loan. This is important because if you don't pay back your credit card balance in time when you use it, you'll develop bad credit. And that'll make it harder every time you need a loan for an important purchase. Those loans will also get more expensive. So I think it's important that we discuss how credit cards actually work with an example. Again, keep in mind that a credit card is not a way to access free money, and it's not money that belongs to you. Every time you charge the credit card, you are borrowing money from a bank. That bank will want to get its money back and will start charging you interest if you don't pay it back every month when it's due. When you open a credit card, they give you a credit limit. That amount is the maximum you can borrow at any given time, and you must repay it before you can borrow again. So as an example, let's say your credit limit is $5,000. Every time you make a purchase and pay with your card, the bank that gave you the card will immediately pay the business that made you the sale. And the bank will note the amount which you will now owe back to them. You can continue making purchases up to the $5,000, but all those purchases are not with your own money. It becomes a loan that you must pay back. The bank accumulates your purchases for a billing cycle, typically for a month, 30 days, and at the end of the 30 days it will generate a statement. That statement shows the balance that you owe. It will show the minimum payment that you must make and the date it's due. Be careful because you must log into your credit card's website to view your statement. Just because you don't look at it doesn't mean that you don't owe money. You must stay alert or set up automatic payments. Banks typically give you a grace period of 21 days after they present the statement when you can pay and avoid interest. But keep in mind, the minimum payment is only the minimum amount you must pay to avoid getting an additional penalty charge. The full balance is what you actually owe. If you don't pay the full balance at the due date, you will be charged interest on the amount of the balance. That interest is called the APR, short for annual percentage rate, and it can vary from 15 to 30% depending on the credit card. That is a very high interest rate, and every balance you don't pay in following months is not only charged interest on the original balance, but also interest on the interest you haven't paid. So, as you can imagine, the balance just grows incrementally due to this compounding, which is a fancy way of saying interest on your interest. It just grows and grows and becomes harder and harder to pay back. In this example, you see how quickly your debt balance grows when you don't fully pay it back. So, please understand that credit cards should only be used if you know that you will pay back by the end of the month. And my advice is to pay back the full amount. Credit cards are the worst type of debt you can have because the interest is so high. If you're buying things you don't know if you can pay back within the statement period, either don't buy these things or use another type of loan. Using a credit card responsibly can help you build your credit with on-time payment and keeping usage to no more than 30% of available credit. But if you don't pay fully and on time, you'll develop bad credit. Bad credit is very hard to erase and will impact all your financial decisions. So, can you use credit cards? Yeah, but only if you control how much you use them and pay them back fully on time every month. If you're not ready to do that, I recommend you stop using credit cards for your expenses. Focus on using cash or debit cards until you're prepared to use a credit card responsibly. Again, there's no free money. Every dollar you spend today, you will have to repay tomorrow, and probably then some. So be careful and stay smart. Thanks again for watching, and watch my next video on what credit cards I recommend.